This is Nick Rosser of Solvida, and this video is going to discuss content. Content is used throughout a BigFish e-commerce implementation. So, for example, on this home page, these header links, which repeat on every page, are considered a piece of content, as are all of these pieces in this section of shopping. The home page, many pieces of content to make up the entire home page. In this case, the piece of content is using a carousel, and at the bottom all of the footer links that are again repeated on every page. So in the admin module on the content tab, there are many sections here that can help managing content. So let's go through those. First one is the media library. Media library is to keep assets, whether it's documents, images, things of that nature, just a common place to be able to load up any of those visual assets. I loaded one up earlier. That's called mycart contentspot.jpg. So that's just a simple image that's been loaded into the media library. I can have a preview, and I can go ahead and remove that. Another section is a content library. So this is where generic and reusable content can be loaded and then reused in other content areas. So in my example, I have a mega menu apparel, which we will reference shortly. And here is a piece of content, simple HTML, UL, list items, wrapped within a couple of div components. See how that is used shortly. Site info is the area that manages all of those main components. So if you take a look, for example, at the header content. Header content has got our wish list, our contact us, our locate shop. So let's go ahead and make that locate shop X. Save that piece of content. Go back to our e-commerce implementation, and there you go. This now says locate shop X. On the home page we have up to 16 spots. We're currently using 5 spots, and the way that this works is that for all of the active homepage spots, they simply get rendered and will wrap based on the container of the e-commerce implementation. So here's one of those spots. This is a second one with the carousel. Here's a third one, which is obviously just going to appear to the right of the carousel because there's enough room for it to do so. The static pages, again, are just pieces of content that can be referenced. So if we have, for example, a return policy, here's our return policy using some H1s, some P tags, some very simple HTML. This is actually referenced from our footer tags. So our footer content will have the return policy listed here. There it is. So how that works then is that down here our footer content has a reference to the return policy, which is a static page. Play that static page. There's the content that we've managed. Page content spots. All areas of BigFish pages have an opportunity to have content. We have this paradigm of PES for page end spot that will appear at the end of the page, and PTS will appear at the top of the page. So if we're in the shopping cart, for example, we have a simple shopping cart. I have a piece of content ready in the PTS shopping cart. It's referencing that media asset that we saw earlier. I'm going to make this piece of content active, save this content, go back to the fashion house, and now we have an engaging piece of content, whatever is relevant for a particular retailer. The product category content is all areas of the product catalog has an opportunity to have content associated with it, whether it's at the top of the page, the end of the page, the top or the end of the facets. That means For blouses, for example, I could insert a piece of content here, above the facets, at the end of the page, or at the end of the facets. In this case, I do have a mega menu. So the mega menu is on apparel. This is referencing that piece of content in the content library, that reusable piece of content, and that's how we achieve this behavior, the apparel overriding the standard behavior and actually displaying a piece of content as a mega menu. And lastly, in our help system, homepage, there is a section on managing content, which has a lot of that information listed. Thank you for watching.